Hey, what is going on guys? This is Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're talking about the most unique Total War game to ever exist. So if you guys do enjoy this video, then please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyways, let's get straight into it. So today we have a very special video, and that's because I've never done a video like this before, where I'm just discussing a game and talking about it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and as you can see, the game in question is Total War Attila, and we're going to get into why I think, it's the most unique Total War to ever exist, why I like it so much, why I have over, 2,500, 3,000 hours in it. So yeah, let's hop into it. So first things, I'm going to give you some backstory on me and my Total War history. So I started off playing games on Steam in 2016, 2017. And as a young kid, I didn't have a card. I couldn't really buy games on Steam because, my parents, if I told them, can you buy me this? They're like, oh, I have to put my card details in this, this online platform. Is it safe? And all of that stuff. So the first game I got was Total War Attila, which I got on disc from the store at the local mall. And I played that basically for 2 years straight because I didn't have internet back then. Well, I did, but we had a very limited data cap and I couldn't play online games. So I played campaign exclusively for basically 2 years every single holiday between my school time. And I absolutely fell in love with Attila during that time. I'm pretty sure the campaign I played was Ostrogoths, maybe? And it was yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what I was doing at the start, but hey, I learned along the way. It was a lot of fun. But that's where I started my Total War journey, with Total War Attila, playing an offline campaign only for basically about 2 years. Then after that, I did eventually, once I was able to start buying games myself on Steam and kind of just get into the whole, Steam PC gamer mindset, then I did expand and try out other Total War games. So some of the games I've played, just so what I'm comparing Attila against, in the video, is I've played Total War Medieval 2, which is an absolutely brilliant game. I love it. I have played Total War Shogun 2, which I didn't get into that much really. I played it. I don't really like the older Total War campaigns, mostly because of how used to the mechanics and the way Attila's campaign works. So I didn't really get into the campaigns for Shogun and Medieval 2, but I did love the Medieval 2 battles. Shogun 2 battles were also pretty cool, especially because of the time period, and I really like samurai and all that stuff. But it's probably one of my least played Total War games. But Medieval 2 I've played a lot. Then I got Rome 2, and Rome 2 was the most similar to Attila's mechanics and Attila's campaign. So I actually played a pretty full length, pretty long campaign as the Spartans, and I like the multiplayer and stuff as well. So I really do enjoy Rome 2. And then I also tried out Pharaoh, Total War Pharaoh on Epic Games. Didn't really like it, unfortunately. It was okay. I think I made 1 or 2 videos on it, but that was about it. And I also did try Warhammer 2, and Warhammer 2 campaign-wise, it was pretty cool, right? I was not into Warhammer back then. Now I'm into 40k, and I know Warhammer 2 is based on Warhammer Fantasy, but that's a different story. So I liked the campaign; it was pretty fun. I liked the fights and stuff because it was cool to use dragons and magicians and all these units. Though obviously the battles themselves just weren't that great in comparison to what I was used to on Attila, and then what I got used to playing Medieval 2, especially, all the Lord of the Rings mods for Medieval 2. So yeah, that is my history with Total War. I've played Attila, I've played Medieval 2, I've played Rome 2, I've played Shogun 2, and I've played Warhammer 2. Oh, and I also tried out Pharaoh as well. And Attila by far is the most unique Total War game from all of them. And I'm not talking about, well, I kind of am talking about the setting and the time period, but the game itself, I mean, all Total War games, they all have the same basic mechanics, the same basic structure and outline to the game. And what differentiates them is, the factions, the unit rosters, the time periods that they're setting, etc. But Attila does something. One thing particularly that no other Total War does. So in Medieval 2, if you're playing a campaign, and I may not have played too much of campaigns, but and when I say that, it's because like Attila, I've done every single factions campaign, finished it. But Medieval 2, I played the English campaign. I think I played as the French as well. And in Medieval 2, when you play as a big nation, you have a strong army, you have nice settlements, and you're a pretty powerful kingdom that can expand. Rome 2 is the same thing. Playing as the Spartans, I was able to, have a pretty solid kingdom, expand, take out my neighbors, grow my empire. And the same thing, Shogun 2 also the same thing, even though I only played about half of one campaign, but my experience was pretty similar to that. Warhammer, definitely the same thing. I mean, I played the elves and I just started going and taking over everything and, doing that. So all of those campaigns give you a sense of power. You play as a big nation and you are just powerful. You can take on your allies, you can take on your neighbors, you can take on your enemies, and you can expand your empire. Attila does one thing that no other Total War does, and that is it gives you a feeling of dread, of fear, of apocalypse. When you play an Attila campaign, it doesn't matter what nation you are. You are not a massive empire looking to expand their reach, looking to become more powerful, more strong, looking to expand their borders, capture neighboring settlements. That is not the Attila atmosphere. When you play Attila, you play it to survive. And that is a very different feeling from everything else, right? So if we go to the Grand Campaign here, and I was debating having gameplay on the back of the screen, right, for the entire time. But then I decided, nah, I don't want to be one of those guys that just has gameplay in the background. If you're interested enough to listen to this video, then hopefully me talking, my voice will be what you're after, and you won't be looking to be entertained by some background gameplay. But if we look at the Grand Campaign, right, and we look at the nomadic tribes, we have the Huns, right? And, well, we'll also have the White Huns, but the Huns are an absolutely disgustingly overpowered, scary faction. Unless you're playing them. If you're playing them, then they're not that good, honestly. But when the AI plays them, it is the most scary thing ever when you hear the Huns have declared war on you or the Huns are coming down. Especially if you've played a full Western Roman Empire campaign on Legendary difficulty, which I'm sure anyone familiar with Total War or with Attila knows that it's pretty much regarded as the hardest campaign in Total War history. The Western Roman Empire on Legendary difficulty. And that's because, one, you're this massive empire at the start, right? Like, let's go. Roman Empire, Western Rome. You literally own half the map. But within a couple turns, there are barbarians, there's enemies everywhere. You're going to lose Britannia, you're going to lose Africa, you're going to have people pushing in over here as well. A lot of the Nordic tribes, the Saxons, the Ostrogoths, the Visigoths, etc. They're going to be pushing in. You're going to be losing everywhere. Your entire empire is not there for you to just say, perfect, we're powerful, we're strong, let's expand and conquer more territory. You're trying to fight tooth and nail to keep your empire from falling apart. And then when the Huns come down from the northeast, right? So the Huns like spawn over here somewhere. And when they come down, oh my god. It is the coming of the end. It is an absolute scourge. It's the apocalypse for the Western Roman Empire because Attila will come through. He will destroy settlements. He will burn them to the ground. He will murder your armies with his elite stacks of Hunnic horse archers and Hunnic units. And if you kill him, he's just going to respawn until you wipe him out like 3 times, which is crazy. Especially since any Hunnic army you kill will respawn the next time. You can murder all 3 of their best armies, right? Somehow you do it. Next turn, all 3 will come back unless you've killed Attila. So that feeling of apocalypse is just something that no other Total War game has ever been able to capture or has ever aimed to capture. And I absolutely love Attila for that, okay? So I've played the Huns and I went through, burnt their empire down. I've played the White Huns, which is the same thing, but you're doing that to the Sassanids instead. And the Sassanids are actually pretty powerful if they build up, so that's something to be wary of. The Western Roman Empire, again, the hardest campaign I have ever played. I'm pretty sure it's the hardest campaign, like any Total War player will agree on. Legendary Western Roman Empire, hardest campaign ever. Especially, there are some mods that you can add that make it even harder, but it's really fun because, trying to see if you can survive that and come back is truly something. So, yeah, absolutely love this campaign. It made me tear my hair out. It made me go to bed crying. No, I'm joking. But, it caused a lot of issues. Trying to stay alive, trying to stop my empire from crumbling, which, I mean, it did because I didn't do that tactic where, who was it? One of the Total War YouTubers, I forget who, but they abandoned basically the entire empire except for the main region in Italy, and they basically got all the money from demolishing buildings, disbanded all the armies, and then they just started with a small little group in Italy and then expanded outwards after that. I didn't do that. I fought tooth and nail for every single fortress, every border, and it was the most fun experience in Total War ever. It was crazy, it was hard, it was scary, it was apocalyptic, but it was amazing. Eastern Roman Empire, also a very hard campaign, but slightly easier due to their faction trade, which is basically you earn 5% interest on your treasury balance at the end of a turn, which basically allows you to have compound interest and can become very overpowered once you get to the higher numbers. The Eastern Empires, you obviously have the Sassanids. Sassanids are actually pretty solid. They have a lot of vassals. The vassals actually help them out, which is pretty nice. And it's a very fun campaign to play through. But regardless, guys, so when I say they're pretty strong and stuff, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what faction you're playing, right? You can play any of these factions. And you are not trying to expand your empire, okay, in any of them. I stay true to my word when I say, no matter what faction you play, it is a fight for survival. Okay. When you played the Great Migrators, aka my two favorite factions, actually, the Visigoths and the Ostrogoths, as well as the Alans, the Vandals, as well as the Swabians, even if you're playing these guys, which are horde factions at the start, you are just trying to get away with your two armies and your king and stuff. You're trying to survive, A lot of them start over here in this area, and that's because they're all fleeing from the Huns. The Huns are coming down, they're looting, they're burning, they're just ravaging the countryside and all the people in it. And you're just trying to survive. You're trying to escape the Huns, but you're also going into the domain of the East and Western Roman Empire, which while they're weak, they still do have a lot of armies. They still have the ability to wipe you out if you're not careful. Then obviously you have the barbarian kingdoms, so what are these? The Franks, the Alamans, the Saxons, the Burgundians, and the Langobards. All these guys, they're fighting each other, they're fighting enemies. It's a fight for survival, no matter what faction you pick, guys. The Norse, the Danes, the Jutes, and the Geats trying to fight for control of the North. Well, depending how you played it. When I played as them, I tried to take out the neighboring factions, get control of the area, then push down south and expand. But first, I had to survive. And yeah, it's amazing. Same here, if you're playing as any of these guys, Caledonians, the Picts and stuff. Remember, half of Britannia is ruled by the Western Roman Empire. And so you need to kick them out while also fighting off each other and, establish dominance. And it's just a beautiful game. So, yeah, Attila is by far the most unique Total War in the sense that it is the only Total War game you will ever play, up to now at least, when this video goes live. You are not a massive empire trying to expand and, become more powerful. Instead, no matter if you're playing a horde faction, no matter if you're playing an empire, you are fighting for your survival every single turn. You are fighting tooth and nail to exist, to leave a legacy behind, to ensure you do not die. And I freaking love that. I'm not actually, let me see, load campaign. My cloud save. I've only got my Visigothic save. Okay, I don't have my others. I swear I should have my other saves. I think I saved them to the cloud. Maybe I didn't before I reset my computer, but if you just look at my Visigothic campaign save, for example, right? I went down here and I basically took control of most of the Eastern Roman Empire and the Sassanid Empire, so I I own this entire region here. Then we also trying to expand out here where the Eastern Western Roman empires meet, and we also have sent armies over to try and take control of Italy and parts of the Western Roman Empire. The parts I don't own were allies and stuff like Macedonia and some of the other factions that I ended up either having as vassals or allying with, etc. But yeah, this is not a video, or this is not the type of video I'm used to doing since I normally do gameplay videos. But I thought it would be something different. I know I didn't show a battle in the background the entire time, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, if you did, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think. What is your favorite Total War? If you have played Attila, what do you think of it? Do you agree with my opinions? And if you would like to see other videos in this style, because this is the first time I'm doing one like this, so I'm not sure how well it's going to be received by my audience, whether it's my usual audience or newcomers to the channel. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope if you have any questions, leave it down below in the comment section, and I will try to answer it. And I will see you guys in the next video.